Hello and welcome to the Wicked Edition, Maze. Thank you for joining us for yet another classic episode. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori, and it's been a week of releasing results, KCSE na kadhalika. On this episode, it will be very difficult not to touch on both, especially now that the mean score in one of the results was 99.9%. Maze, and that's not to mention the good vibes from our friends at Telkom Kenya. Special offer from T-Cash that allows you to send money across all networks for free for the next 60 days. I'll be telling you more on that in a bit. We also have a special area of focus. Is it just me, or do you also feel like there's an outbreak of baby mamas and baby daddies in the world of today? To help us navigate the how and why we have gotten to this point are two special ladies. One of them is well known to most of you on the interwebs, anajulikana kama Yami Mami. She goes by the name Murugi Munyi. She is in the house. Also with us in studio is a life coach and a former teacher who has some very inspirational vibes as far as career choices are concerned. However, that's not why we have her on the show tonight. As we were discussing other aspects of life, I picked up an interesting point of how she has raised her son by herself, but still has a few nice things to say about deadbeat dads. Rosemary Wanjiko Ngoge is in the house. We'll be talking to them in a bit, but first, this week, Senate Speaker Kenneth Lusaka declared the seat held by nominated Senator Isaac Mwaura vacant after he lost his battle with his party Jubilee, rendering him jobless. So basically, after longing for it for some time, Honorable Isaac Mwaura has officially joined the Hustler movement. Honorable Mwaura is said to have obtained a stay order in the courts in regard to Speaker Lusaka's decision, but as he was voting for BBI, walikuwa walishamfuta kazi. He was not a senator then, making him the first Kenyan to vote, the first ordinary Kenyan to vote for the BBI report. The BBI actually performed very well in both houses, both Parliament and Senate, and the proponents have been celebrating the results since. In this week of results, Education CS George Magoha also had news for 2020 KCSE candidates, and one of my highlights was this testimony of the second best performer, Alan Wasonga.
I am particularly touched that you were studying in the toilet, and I can't imagine what was going through your mind at the time, because your mom was there and she found you in the toilet at that particular point. What did you even tell her? How did you explain this to her?
It was... See, now everything was self-explanatory.
I hope my primary school teacher watched this. Ama ameshaiona. Because every time I went to her kumwambia, excuse me teacher, may I go to the toilet? Her default answer was no. Mrs. Njero, I hope you see how you denied this country one more surgeon. Now, I also hope that moving forward, Kenyans will respect the literature in Kenyan toilets and their authors. Ukuta imeandikwa Alan was here, but see where Alan is now. Now, interestingly, Alan admitted that his greatest challenge in the KCSE exam was English.
The way I testified, English was not a work in the park.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a boy thing or for all candidates, but English was not a work in the park.
Based on where he was studying, now we know the greatest enemy of the English language in this country.
What do you tell Waitito right now? What do you tell him?
I think he used to smoke a lot of bangi when he was an MP. And I'm a witness to this. We used to go to a certain toilet there.
Nikakuta ofisi, kwa meza yake kuna watu. Pale kwa conference kuna watu. Kwa sofa kuna watu. Kwa corridor watu wamejaa. So, goja. Sasa nikashindwa kwa sababu ile mambo nataka kumwambia ni private. Nitamwambia nikiwa wapi? Nikamwambia governor, ile kitu nataka kuambia hatuwezi ongea hapa. Akaniambia kuja nikuonyeshe. Akaniigiza kwa choo.
Kizungu ikienda kwa choo. Now, to news that might ring a bell, I don't even know how we missed the story, Maze. Hii story kwa show ya last week. Maze, it's a story about a 500-kilogram bell that was stolen from the Virgin Mary Orthodox Church in Gesha, Kiambu County. While reporting the loss, the church also reported that this follows only a few days after thieves broke into the same church and stole bottles of wine. Maze, now I understand, it makes sense why kanisa ipendi walevi.
Nani wapiga mayowe ni walevi? Nani wenye huzuni ni walevi? Nani wenye ugomvi ni walevi? Nani walalamika ni walevi? Nani wenye majeraha bila
hiyo beef sioni ikiisha. Lakini hapo kwa Bell, kengele ya 500 kg walikuwa wanaenda kuipigia wapi? Na ingelia wakiiba. Thieves don't ask themselves serious questions. No. That would not have mattered, because I've just remembered that in this country wezi hawaogopi kelele. Ni warangapi wa Kenya wameibiwa wakapiga kelele na bado wakaibiwa tena. Na hata sasa tunajua labda tumenyamaza ama kumenyamaza na kuna mahali kunaibwa, tutaisikia. That's news of the future is being created. Worse still, like all the other thieves, hata hao wenye wameiba kengele wakishikwa, they will just be released on bail. Now seriously though, hii kuiba kwa kanisa puts the word and the church at na waumini at crossroads, because the Bible says that Jesus will come back like a thief in the night. Some thieves might actually use this as an excuse when caught in the act. Hey, nini wewe bwana? I'm your savior. Don't you read your Bible? Nini unataka kutangaza huko nje ati mimi ni mwizi? Unataka nichomwe juu ya kegere ya baba yangu? Maybe this will explain why the Lord is taking too long to come back. The Lord may return like he promised, like a thief in the night, alafu watu wakose kumwamini, achomwe tena. Ati hey, umesikia tunangoja Kristo arudi tena mara ya 3. Hey, ujasikia kuna mtu alichomwa Rwai akasema yeye ni Yesu. Na kama ni yeye, at least this time he died for his sins. Now, you know, one of the traditional reasons of having a bell in a church is to scare away demons. In Gesha, the demons came for the bell. You guys know the struggle na mathematics when it comes to pesa ya kutuma na pesa ya kutoa. Mbona uteseke na Tcash has an offer that you should not miss, sending money across all networks for free for the next 60 days. Mi kwanza mnajua kuna mtu alinidump juu ya kutuma pesa fixed. True story by the way. Ndawanarate hiyo kitu in detail, but in the meantime now dial *160 *160 hash on your Telcom line and follow the prompts to activate your Tcash. Na kama una line ya Telcom maze, this is the time to get one so that you don't miss out on the wonderful offers yenye nasema kama kusend pesa across all networks for free. Bado kuna deal poa na deal moto kama 25% bonus when you buy airtime through your Tcash. Amwezi sema siwachanuangi maze. The internet corridors have been awash with stories za children and parental responsibility, watu wameitwa deadbeat dads na zingine mingi. Na by the way, kuna deadbeat moms. Anyway, I really feel like it's very important to have this conversation of parental responsibility on a national platform. I stumbled upon a very sad statistic in a Daily Nation article by Kenfrey Kiberenge updated in July last year. At 6 out of 10 Kenyan women are likely to become single mothers by the age of 45. And let that sink in for a minute as we take a short commercial break. Our guests for this episode, Murugi Munyi and Rosemary Wanjiko, are joining us on the other end. So see you guys in a bit. Welcome back to the weekend edition. I'm Dr. Kingori Shonzito tena kama kawaida. My question now becomes, what happened to father, mother, and children? I told you that I came across very interesting stats that 6 out of 10 women in Kenya are likely to be single mothers by the time they get 45. That worried me so much. Alafu, it comes at a time when hii wiki mmefungulia watu file pale kwa social media. Oh, who is the father, who is not, sijui 99%, and everything that comes with that. Now, I felt that this is a conversation that needs to be had on a national platform. And I managed to get, I managed to get, and I'm happy to have in studio 2 power ladies. One of them, mnamjua kama ya mimami. Formerly, she has a story about that, but now in the house, Murugi Munyi, karibu sana.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Sawa, karibu sana. Asante for making time for us. Also in studio is a lady mwenye tulikuwa napiga tu story ya vitu different, ya vile watu walikuwa wamenifungulia file on a different area, but then she happens to be a life coach. Now, I liked a bit of her story. She's a single mother who's raised her child by herself. Na akona ma bites zingine interesting zinaweza teach watu vitu mob sana. Rosemary Wanjiko Ngoge is in the house.
Thank you for having me.
Karibu sana, karibu. I'll start with you. In fact, it's a question we had right before we just before we got on set. Yeah, do men have a choice as far as bringing a baby in this world is concerned where people are not together? And you guys had a very interesting answer.
Wow. Now, here is you and I deciding to go to bed.
Yes.
What are we expecting?
To have fun.
And then, when you were in class 6, you were taught reproductive health. And reproductive health says children are made during intercourse. And you're having intercourse with a woman. So, among the things you're expecting, fun, child, etc.
There are people who get there by surprise, right? And then a lady can decide, I don't want to keep the baby. And it's fine. Whatever you'll say as a man does not count. But then, if the lady decides to keep the baby, if you don't want to have the baby as a man, if you're not ready to be a father, you don't have a choice. As in, rights are men as far as children and being a father are concerned, zinaisha pale kwa kukatiana.
My mom has a quote that she always tells us. She tells us, first you make choices and then your choices make you. Now, like she's mentioned, at the point at which you're agreeing to have intercourse with this woman and you know it is unprotected, or you think maybe it's protected, but you know something happens and you get the child, at that point you have already made the decision to have the intercourse. That was the point at which you had a choice. Now, once the baby has been conceived, the choice now is no longer yours, because now it has already happened. Because even if a man comes and says, oh, me, I don't want to keep it, are you going to strap me to a chair to get an abortion? You can't. So I would say, I mean, it's not like you can completely disqualify their position now at that point, but I would say that the man can have his say, but the woman will have her way.
So you can't argue with that. Now, are other men absolved of responsibility? Like your son probably doesn't know about the dad.
He does know.
They know each other.
They have not met. Okay, they met for 1 year. After 1 year,
yes.
they have not met.
They met for?
You see, we were together the first year.
Yes.
His first year of life. After that, they have not
never
met.
met.
They have spoken once through the many years. It's not that there are some men who are absorbed of raising a child, but there's something I usually say. I will never put my son on the table for discussion. You know a child exists, Kingori. You know. You even know that this child should get a birth certificate. You get. You even put your name there. How do you want me to tell you to pay school fees? How do you want me to tell you it is end month, you've received your salary, sent 2,000 shillings? As there's a statement you guys said that, you said actually that hana kakitu. What do you mean? What do you mean hana kakitu? Do you have 200 shillings? Send it. So for me, it's not that he cannot take care of the child. He doesn't want to take care of the child, I will not discuss. Because there's something we need to take care of, our children's mental health and how they grow.
Yeah.
Mtoto akijua he was being discussed. At this time, mom was calling the dad I've never met, and they were really having a bitter exchange about my school fees. The child is there listening and thinking, God, I'm so bad. They're not even ready to raise me. Why am I this bad?
Okay.
Oh, God. Now the child starts hating themselves. Can my child know that he's loved? Even if school fees, we pay 16 times before it is completed.
I like what she said about, it's not really that they're absolved, but it's like they absolve themselves, because I'm always telling my followers the same thing, because they're like, oh, the father doesn't want to take responsibility. Can I take him to court? But I always tell them, think about the kind of life you want yourself and your child to have, because the second you take them to court to say, okay, I want to get child support, that means, okay, you'll get the child support, but now the court can tell you, okay, the child must go and spend every other weekend at his house. Are you comfortable with your child going to the house of someone who doesn't even want to be that person's father? I was a single parent for 6 years before I got married. And I mean, the first 4 years we were together. The first 4 years we were together. We were not living together, but we were in a relationship. We had the child. The relationship was going well. Then at some point, we just grew apart, and then the relationship ended. But fortunately for me, from the very beginning, he was a very dedicated father, and he was actively saying, even if we break up, I want to be in the child's life. And to this day, even though I'm married, we still co-parent. So we share, fees. We share custody of the child. So the child lives with me, but goes to their place very often. So he knows he has this family and he knows he has that other family. And for me, that's like the ideal situation, because obviously it would have been nice kaa tungeolewa, but it didn't work out.
Should it be a condition that for you to have a child, you must afford it?
Yes, I think it's something that children should not be had like I had mine, you should plan to have children. Because children are expensive, and it is not just monetary. Raising a child is not a joke. You have to sacrifice. I tell ladies, today, I choose to have a child. I need to put into consideration 3 years. First year for carrying the pregnancy, year 1 for raising the child, another year for getting back.
Before he or she can start talking, you watch in a house.
Not even up, no. Before I can get back to my life. You see, the first year you're pregnant, the second year you're raising this child, even if you're working. Then when the child is now turning 2, in the child's second year, is when you're trying to know to find yourself. Where is Rosemary? Rosemary went to which village?
Yep.
If we only knew about the 3 years, we wouldn't have 7 children.
Now, this is a utopia we are living in, of a perfect world where people plan to have children. Sai people, right now, there is someone having a child. Sai, you said it before we started, right? In a manisha, that's life. That's how can we cope with this situation as it is now? As in, I've looked at myself. I look at my babies in Nigeria. Hey, Maze, I enjoy this little human being so much that I think imeandikwa they were to be born then, right? You can't wish a kid away, right? Then we have situations where someone has a child and they were not prepared for the child. Again, first of all, do we have deadbeat moms?
Yes.
Hey, wako.
Well, there are so many.
Wako.
There are so many. You know, I want to first ask us a very interesting question. What does parenting involve? Parenting does not involve just money. Do you know there are so many women in this Nairobi? They are looking all together lovely. Very amazing. And they keep talking about my baby, my baby. We go to Mombasa during December holidays, my baby. But they do not spend even an hour with the child. Playing silly. Baking. I have seen my son bring everything for baking to the table. Mommy, we bake. And I'm thinking, wait, I was supposed to sit alone. What is this happening? But he knows, even if my mom was doing something very serious, and I go and take those baking, the ingredients, we shall bake. There are children who can't do that.
Yeah.
There are women who, yes, we have children. Those ones who have taken their children to the village, those ones are deadbeat moms. I want to even be on record. Taking your children to the village to come and slay Nairobi, that one is a mistake. But there are situations. Situations vary. Then there's another group that has a house help who takes care of everything. The baby moves from your room at 0 or at 3 months. The house girl takes care of the child. Now that is delegating parenting.
Yeah.
Now that is deadbeat. You don't, I think before we say they have sent the children, you know, we talk about deadbeat fathers with a lot of emotion.
So much.
But we remove the women, and there are women who are deadbeat. I know men who take care of their children, everything, as in he knows when the diapers are finished, he knows everything about their child, and the mother does not know.
Yeah.
But should the man not have 2,000 shillings when she needs? The man is on social media.
The man is deadbeat. But to your question about what have you asked? What can be done now about the single motherhood pandemic, so to speak?
Yes.
I think 2 things are really required. One, education. People, I mean, in this day and age, if you don't have information about contraceptives, about how to protect yourself, about the options available to you, that is, I mean, it's unfortunate, but I think more needs to be done, especially in public schools, even in private schools, especially when people are in primary, to tell them this is how you protect yourself. You can't just do this. If you do this, this is going to happen. The second thing that's needed, I think, is support, because like she's mentioned, sometimes it is carelessness that leads you to be a single mother or a single father or just a single parent in general. Sometimes it is, oops. It's like by mistake. I mean, obviously, you are having intercourse with the expectation we have a ratio, we are getting married, then the marriage ends, and now you're a single parent. And sometimes I feel like society has a way of, they'll just judge you. They'll see you single mother. Hey, that one is just promiscuous. They don't know what you have been through. They don't know that that's not the situation you had intended for. So I think a lot of support needs to be offered by people like life coaches, by people who, like, you know, having programs like this. This is also a form of support. By government programs, which can actually help women inure themselves economically, so that they are not constantly having to shout on social media, deadbeat, deadbeat, deadbeat. Wako na yao pia.
So, what goes on in a woman's mind? And I believe this one, you can actually respond, both of you can respond independently. When you have one child, you are sure that if you wanted another child, the chances of you having 2 kids from the same father are near 0. There's a society perception for that. I know someone who has 5 children na kila mtu akona baba yake. Baba yake sio baba yangu na baba yake pia sio baba yangu.
How confusing.
Manze. So what goes on in a lady's mind, as in squeezy relationships zinaanza 1-1, 2-1, and nimesikia that's what they call it, right? Like someone posted a picture. Yeah, someone sang about Nairobi. When you walk around trying to look for a woman without a child or a man without a child, ni sisi ndio tuko, right? What goes on in a lady's mind, ukipata mtoi and then it does not work out, ama ukishaiona, and you ladies actually know, hakuna mahali tunaenda.
For me, to realize I will have a child with 2 men, I have to look at me. It starts with accepting me. Like Rosemary's story, I found myself single parenting.
Yes.
Very many years ago. I had a choice of saying, I'm going to lure him and get, in fact, I've been told, Rosemary Ninini, get a child, go to him. Haizi kukataa.
The same guy.
Yes.
Yes.
Haizi kukataa.
Repeat the same mistake
Get
again.
another child with him. And I'm thinking,
How? Why?
how? The Rosemary that had attracted that man is not the Rosemary that is here today. That girl is long dead. The Rosemary today is looking for a man who is whole, who knows himself,
Secure.
who is secure, who is
In
not
short,
going to be
a man
wondering.
who does not exist.
I found one.
Now,
So
she did. She found one. By the way, this is a notion. That man does not exist. Do you know how many good men are in this country?
yeah.
Why are we spending a lot of time talking about the irresponsible men who are actually broken? I want to say there is no man, there is nobody that wakes up one morning and says, "Hii wiki nita impregnate 3 women na niwaache." No one.
Sawa. I like the sitaki hii point iende. You found one. You found a whole man.
Yeah.
What if ule mwingine akichange?
He's now married with his own many children, and me, I'm now married with my many children. You see, the thing is that when we were breaking up, it was not there was no aggravation. It was just we've tried, it's not working. Your life is going in a different direction. My life is going in a different direction. We both love this child, so let's both be involved in the child's life.
Kuna
so
drama.
no, there's no drama.
Mbwe kidogo.
No, you know, that's the thing. Not everything is drama. Not every situation is bad.
Where's
Not
the
every
fun in your life?
It's fun to not have drama. That's what I can say. It's fun to not have drama. And of course, there's always that rhetoric, poor, just like, "Hi, now you're a mom. Are you going to find a man to love you? Are you going to?" And that's the problem, because now you'll find single moms settling for deadbeats, settling for insecure men, settling for narcissists, because you're like, anyway, I'm already damaged. I already have a child. Who said? Me, in fact, when I was dating, after I broke up with that one, I was like, in fact, it's a bonus. You get me +1. Imagine, me +1. 2 for the price of 1, imagine. And my husband, my now husband, for him, I mean, when he learned I was a single mom, which was very early on, he was just like, oh, that's nice, because he was raised by a single mother. So for him, he's like, in fact, I respect single mothers even more, because I know how much it has taken for you to even bring yourself up to the place that you are now. So me, I want to encourage all single mothers, don't settle because society has told you there are no good men, because society has told you you're damaged, because society has told you you're broken. Those are the ones who are broken. You're fine. You're okay.
On that, I know a lady. She's now married in Germany. The lady had not 1, not 2, 7.
Kila mtu na baba yake.
7. No, I think she had been in 2 previous marriages.
Wow.
That's commitment.
7.
Lord.
And can I shock you? Only 3 are in the country today. The others are in different countries. They're not in Germany being assisted by this man. No. They're in different countries pursuing some serious careers.
Yaligonga jackpot. Multibet yake iliingia zote.
Ilichapa vizuri.
That's a courageous man right there. Hao akiamua kukuvamia kama beta haijaingia. Okay.
And has she gotten a child in this marriage?
No.
Okay.
They were not looking. The man was not looking. You see, marriages are not
7-1.
for children.
7-1.
Actually, the man in his previous relationship, he had only 1 child.
Oh, wow.
So he's so happy he has 8. And by the way, that man would fly from Germany on closing day. Yet a Kenyan, haizi panda mat kutoka Tao kwenda Dandora. Hata Dandora ni karibu. Ama Isli kwenda kuchukua report form.
But
A
you
man
do
would
agree.
fly from Germany.
That's a courageous man.
Of course. Single
Wewe unajua
women
what
who,
it will
men
take
who,
kuvaliwa na your stepchildren.
But also the children are not at young.
they're not
they're
at
not
young,
babies.
No, they're not babies.
Sasa
Yeah.
see, that's the point
Yeah.
now.
No.
Babies cannot do anything to you, but
Aye.
hawa wanaume saba kwa nyumba, if they corner you very well, ati you can't even disagree professionally. Ati mmejibizana kidogo, unase surely.
Unasema nini? But you see, I keep saying a man who marries a single mother is not just a man. No,
He's a hero.
no,
Oh, really?
yes. Not just a man. And I keep saying, by the way, if you're not sure about yourself, don't touch a single mother. Please, ukimuona, toroka. It takes a very, very self-aware man.
Yes.
It takes a man who knows his place. Because you see, hata hawa watoto saba kabla wakuvamie, wewe mwenyewe unakaaje. Oh, yes.
Oh, so before you touch a single mother, go to the gym. Asanteni sana kwa
The mental
kukuja.
gym, yes.
Asanteni
mental
sana.
gym, yeah.
Thank
Asanteni
you.
sana.
Thank
Find Joan Munyi, formerly Yummy Mami, on social akona a very, very strong YouTube channel, which you can find all this information. Na Rosie, hata wewe fungua YouTube channel.
Mazi. Yeah.
See, at least I'm here. You guys
I've
are
learned
gonna
a lot from you today.
teach me.
Yeah.
I actually just began.
Fungua YouTube channel ndio watu
I
wajue vile
will,
wanaweza kupata.
I will. Very soon, by the way.
Uko na vibes poa sana. In fact, akona story poa ya career choices, vile alianza na kukuwa mwalimu. Ni vile in the interest of time I can't pick that up juu wako na good vibes. Tukianza kuongea hapa tutaongea mpaka kesho, na kuna show ingine inakuja after sisi. Otherwise, asanteni sana for joining us for this episode maze, and also remember when it comes to sending money, Telcom has a good deal for you. Take advantage maze. Kama una line ya Telcom, sijui ni nini unafanya, dial *160# to activate your T-Cash. Na kama uko worried about mambo ya sijui vitu kama kusend pesa kwa wrong number, imagine they got you covered. You can call 160 and your money can be reversed within within 1 day on the maximum maze. Take advantage. Changamka kabisa. T-Cash. Ile last week niliwaambia hapa vile watu siku hizi ukienda kutumia mtu pesa anapiga nduru kwanza. Usitupe kwa hiyo namba unapewa. Get line yako ya T-Cash. So many advantages. So many advantages. Nunueni alafu, kama hauna nunua alafu utakamu niambie. Otherwise, pia asante sana kwa guest wetu wa leo. I can't thank them enough. I can keep saying that over and over again. Otherwise, that's it for the weekend edition. See you next week. My name is Dr. Kingori.